All right, so what's going on, family? Today we're going to talk about AMD. It's been an extremely long period of time since I dropped the price prediction because I've been watching the market in AMD and the stock just continues to go up in price. You can see that it did top out though around $182 recently, and then the market has gone lower. Earnings came out, price dipped, ended down 6.42% on the day. But I want you all to look at where it bounced. Okay, so we're going to try to talk about it because this could be a resting point for buyers to reaccumulate AMD and then allow the market to continue to higher. Or we could see a transition or a breakdown of this great move that occurred in AMD to where prices will begin to go lower. So make sure you guys hit that like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on my information that we produce on this platform. All right, so let's go. So first thing we're going to do for AMD is clean up the chart, because whenever price changes, whenever price moves, points become irrelevant. It becomes pointless, and it kind of clouds up your judgment if you have so many things going on in your chart, which is why we don't place a whole lot of things here, because it fogs your perception of what's actually going on. So let's go ahead and clean up this chart real quick. We're going to get rid of these sell pockets here in AMD first, because the sellers were ultimately taken out by the buyers as price progressed higher. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to extend this trend line in AMD just to show you that the market is kind of overextended, in the sense that we need to allow this market to come back down, right? So right here is that near-term trend in AMD. We are so far away from where this long-term trend started since April of 2025. Price is about, let's see, in the pre-market we are around 13-14% away from touching that long-term trend line. Right now I may actually try to come through and lower this sell pocket in AMD. Okay, so let's run it like right around here. Now, it's not a coincidence that price in AMD began to see a bigger reaction of lower prices. It's not a surprise. You shouldn't be surprised, because look what happened when the market in AMD topped that price back in July of 2024. Look what happened then. You saw another big move to the downside after the buyers saw that there was too much selling occurring at this price. The market broke down. You're getting the same thing now, today. However, the thing we need to try to figure out is, will we see a big move just like we did back in July of 2024? Can we see that again? Or will the market come in and try to bounce and support a price so that AMD can continue to go up higher in price? So we're going to try to figure out. Okay, so let's look at this. This is a very big, important area for us now as a buy pocket. Okay, so we're going to create that as a buy pocket here. And look at this on the 330. We're going to create one here. And we're going to create one more right around here. Okay, so these pockets will play a very important role as we see the market in AMD descending or losing some value. Okay, so I'm not saying that this market is primed for a massive crash. No, I'm not saying that. But we have seen a change, a shift occur in the sentiment of the market. So we're kind of waiting to see, hey, at what price will buyers step in? Because if we still see these buyers in AMD, then they're telling us, they're giving us a signal and saying, hey, we're not finished with moving this stock price up, which is kind of what we're seeing right now in AMD off of this 2-day bar, right? You can see how the market closed. It closed a little bit off of the lows, indicating that buyers stepped in. Volume was also high in the market for AMD. Okay, look at that volume. Okay, So we need to start paying attention to see if we get a continuation of buyers supporting the market. Let's look at AMD on the 3. So here it is on the 3. Nothing too much here. Let's look at this on the 4 then. The 4-day time frame does look pretty weak, considering pretty widespread price closing on the low of the bar. I think we need to pay attention to see these buyers are still present. Here it is on the 5 too. AMD on the weekly. You can see a kind of change occur in the market in AMD on this current weekly price bar. 2 weeks, 3, and a 5 weekly chart. Now let's look at this on the hourly chart. You can see here that there was a very big move at the earnings was released. The crazy part is that the market in AMD actually is still being bought up by the buyers right here, which is a good indication there. Here it is on the 5-hour chart. This is the point on the 5-hour time frame that we can see buyers hitting the market. Here it is on the 3. You can see buyers here on this 3-hour bar. Okay, you can see this on the 1-hour chart where the buyers came in right here. All right, so yeah, I think the market in AMD is primed for higher levels. However, on the shorter time frame, I can't be extremely bullish yet. Not yet. Market may try to run back up to 176 or so, maybe a little bit less. And depending on the type of reaction we get there, we might just have a short move to the upside. Okay. So yeah, I'm seeing around like 173 to like 176. So from where the market is trading at pre-market, 173 will give us around like 4% move to the upside to get to 176, almost 6% move. So we'll do that. We'll go ahead and drop a prediction looking for AMD to go higher. We're going to be conservative though, because we already seen one reaction of sellers hitting the price in AMD to where the market began to go lower. And we may see that again as price tries to hit and test those sellers a second time. Okay. Now, I can see where it is in pre-market, but since the market closed officially on a trading day down here at $163.12, that's where we're going to place this prediction. And 173 is going to be our first target, which will give us maybe 6.25%, 6%. 6.14% at $173.10. Our second target will be at the low of the sell pocket at 176.8, 7.98%. And then our third target is going to be up here towards the high of that pocket, which is around 10.39%. Okay, so definitely in any instance to where price in AMD is hit by sellers, we want to see the buyers approach the market right here on this buy pocket or this one. If it breaks this buy pocket, then we may need to come in and readjust, reevaluate the situation for AMD. All right, so that is it for the moment. Let me know your thoughts. Make sure you maintain profit, and as always, trade different.